What's up, guys?
Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another episode and season finale of Whiskey and Water. I'm your co-host, Liv.
And I'm your co-host, Jess.
And this is the second time we've recorded this intro.
It's one of those nights, brothers. Recorded the entire thing. Mike wasn't plugged in. So that's super, super fun, flirty fresh for us. To give you guys a little wellness check, it is 8:30 on a Thursday night. But here we are, and we're super excited because this is our season finale, and it's just always like we always get deja vu around this time of year because like we're always filming a season finale at the end of a calendar year because that's just like the timing always aligns because we are in alignment with our divine timing. So yeah, we are back here once again going to do a little episode about, you know, where we're at, reflecting on the past year and kind of what we want to manifest going into 2023 and how we're going to do that, and hopefully share some tools with you guys on how to hop on the motherfucking bandwagon so that we can manifest abundance and generational wealth.
Yeah, we have been on our manifesting grind out here in Hawaii. Get your feet out of here. We're again recording in a bed, brothers.
Dude, I'm loving the bed vibes. I'm such a comfy girl.
You know what? New season, new year. Let's just make our podcast studio like filming in a bed.
We'll have the camera on top.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe. So here we are. Okay. I always say 2 girls, 1 mic, like when we have to share a mic. Anyways, so yeah, that's what we're going to talk about this episode. You guys really seem to love our solo episodes and you like to hear a little bit more like personal examples and, you know, when we divulge information into what we've learned. So we're going to cover like what was significant about 2022, what really stood out for us, where we found the most growth. So, of course, we're going to cover some tips and tricks, you know, best practices for setting those New Year's goals and your intentions. And, like, we've been really heavy into manifesting lately. Like, even on this trip, we're, like, manifesting abundance and saying that we're magnets for success. And, like, things have already come to fruition. We got, like, 4 new mood leads this week, and it's just so crazy. So, we're going to share some tips with you guys about what that looks like and then get into some goals for 2023. But before we do all of that, let's do a little high and low and pro tip. So I guess I'll go first. My low is that I did have an upset tummy this week in Hawaii, and that was not fun. But it's the second time I'm fucking sharing about my diarrhea, and I just don't want to do it again. So I really want to stop talking about this. But here we are again. Anyways, yeah, that was my low because I'm in Hawaii and I can't complain. But if I had to pick a low, it would be that. I must have ate some bad chicken wings.
It would be Poma. It would be Poma.
What?
Poma.
What's that?
Piss out my ass.
So that's my low, brothers. My high, though, is that we are in Hawaii. We have had so many good belly laughs with our friend Laura. The 3 of us are just so goofy together. And honestly, it's inspired me and Jess to like have more silly friends. If you're a silly friend, hit us up because it's such a refreshing energy and vibe. And like there's just been multiple times on the trip already where we've just like been crying, laughing like to tears, and it feels so good to have like so much fun. Another high is that we just so happened to be here during the Vans Pipeline surfing competition, which like didn't even know that was a thing, and that's gonna be so fun. It's tomorrow, so we're gonna go, and like just watching the surfers here has been so fucking cool. It's just like not something you get to see every day, and the waves are gonna be like double the size of what we have been seeing this week, and I'm just so stoked and excited to see that. It's like, and we didn't even plan that, like we just happened to be here, so we're like, all right, for sure, we'll be surfer girls for the day. Another high is that our Socially Ambitious website is coming together. We made some final edits today with our web designer and it looks so good. And it's really just like such a fulfilling feeling when you have a vision for something and you finally see it like creatively come to life. And the website just looking so good, you guys. And we're so close to launch, and just seeing it come to fruition is like so fucking exciting and just sparks so much joy, honestly. So yeah, that was a big high. We had that meeting today, and it had me feeling like so happy and so excited.
Let's start off with my low. And again, this is a repeat. I have already said this tonight. But my low is that we almost got arrested. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I like briefly explain this on stories. But Olivia and I, we didn't realize this, but we dropped off our friend Laura in Honolulu, which is like close to an hour away. And we drop her off, and I look at the fucking gas tank, and it's below E. And I'm already nervous because I'm like, I know my ass is pushing this fucking car. So Olivia like GPS is the closest gas station, and I'm already sweating because you guys know the feeling when your car is like on below E, and you're like, and it's not like, I don't even know the car, so I don't know how long it'll go, right? And it's a fucking old ass goddamn car too. The thing's fucking rusty to crusty dusty. And so she's like, all right, make this next left. I turn in, and we fucking turn into a military base. Pearl Harbor, to be exact. That makes it so much worse. It makes it so much worse. And I guess it was like, because you can visit like the Pearl Harbor like memorial and shit, but this was like just like strict military base, like military entrance only. And I grew up military, so I already know they're not fucking around, and the guy's gonna be a fucking prick. So I pull up, and the guy goes, "What's your business here?" And Olivia shows him her phone, and she's like, "We're just trying to get gas." And he's like, all right, can you have military ID? And me, being the dumbass I am, I'm like, yeah, I have military ID, because I fucking do. And he's like, oh, all right, hand it over. And then I'm like, because then he like got like aggressive about it, and I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't the best thing to do, right? Because I'm like, what if he like is gonna call the Pentagon or something? Or like call my dad, like he can find out who my little brother is active military too. So I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna get them in trouble. And then I go, oh well, I'm just a dependent. He goes, okay, hand over your military ID. And I was like, it's expired. Because I'm like, if I hand this over, it's gonna be expired. He's probably gonna be like, you're sus as fuck, and he's probably gonna take it from me. And I don't want him to take it because I still get 50% off at Krispy Kreme. So I'm like, it's expired. He goes, oh, you have an expired military ID? I was like, yeah, no. Like, I don't know what to say. And he's being like, he's being so fucking intense. Like, the situation probably wasn't even that intense, but the way this guy was acting made us feel like we it's like a cop pulls you over and you know you don't have weed in the car, but like you feel like you have weed in the car. You're like, did I forget everything? You know what I'm saying? So I tell him, I'm like, no, I don't have it with me. And he's like, okay. And then he, without saying anything, he goes and puts a cone in front of our car so that we can't drive. And I'm at this point, me and her are like, oh shit. Like, he's going to ask us to get out of the fucking vehicle, and he's going to fucking search our car with a fucking drug dog, bomb dog. And so we are literally sweating and shaking. And then he comes back over to the car and he goes, put it in reverse. And I'm like, okay. So I throw this bitch in reverse. I'm like peeling out, and he like blocks us off so we can't like go for. And I'm like, I'm not gonna like drive past you into the base. Like, what are you fucking thinking? And that was it. We just like turned around. But in our heads, we were seconds away from getting cuffed. So that's essentially our low, because that was so fucking scary and also so unnecessary. Like, he could have been like, oh, all right, yeah, no problem. Just, you're gonna make a quick U-turn for me. No, terrorists. So that's my low. My high is that I'm just happy to be here. I mean, there's so many highs that I can't even fucking count. Like, I finally got like good hours in the sun. And like the first few days we were here, it was like a little bit cloudy, a little bit overcast. Like we did get some, you know, we did lay out because like one thing about us, we're gonna lay out. But just like getting like hours of uninterrupted sunlight like does things to my fucking soul. Like I need it, I crave it, I want it, and I got it. So very, very excited about that. And you know, just honestly, one thing about me for 2022 is that I never had a fucking tan. This was my palest year yet. Horrible for morale. So going into 2023, I'm going to try to maintain a tan, not only for the physical aspects, but also for the mental aspects. Because if I have a tan, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? I'm prioritizing self-care. I'm living my goddamn life. So that's what we're doing for 2023. But yeah, that's essentially my high. I mean, it's just been so incredible. Like this house that we're staying at is literally on the sand, on the beach, on the water. And we get to see turtles from our windows every single fucking day. We get to see surfers from our windows. We get to like watch the sun. And like, because we're still like jet lagged. So like, it's still like later in it. Like we're still on like kind of like West Coast time rather than like, I don't know, whatever time zone Hawaii's in. So I still wake up naturally at like 6/7, which is still time to see the sunrise, which is so fucking nice. Cause it's not like a hassle to try and wake up for the sunrise. But yeah, it's honestly just been a fucking dream being here. And again, all the belly laughs, like you just can't pay for that kind of shit. And like this trip has just exceeded its quota for belly laughs, and I am so thankful. And sunshine. It's been so lovely.
I don't think we've missed a sunrise. I think we've seen every sunrise since we've been here, and it's been so nice. Yeah, I know, it's so nice. I come in here, I'm like, does it look good? But yeah, no, 10 out of 10 recommend. It's honestly been just sublime. Okay, let's get into our pro tip. My pro tip, I think I might have shared this before actually, but we're gonna run it back. My pro tip is to epilate your legs. Ladies and gentlemen, I started epilating honestly like 2 or 3 years ago. This is not an ad. I actually do use the product that I was sent, and I did an ad for it, and I use it. It's great. For those who don't know, an epilator is like, it looks similar to a razor, but instead of shaving, it's tweezing. So it has this round roller that is just, I don't know the science behind it, but it's basically tweezing out the hair, and it's a little painful. It's a little painful. I kind of like it. I like the sting. It makes, I don't know. But I'm telling you, my leg hair really takes so much longer to grow back. It comes back thinner. And then when I have to use a razor, like when I like forget or I'm traveling, I'm like, oh, I'm messing up my like hair growth cycle because it's like such a good like the hair is just so much thinner. I just love it. So pro tip, epilate your legs.
Not me looking at your hairy ass legs right now. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Do you epilate, other?
I tried.
No.
It doesn't work.
Okay.
Just your legs, ladies. Just your legs.
Just the legs, ladies. Have you tried your armpits?
Yeah, it's also tough.
Okay, interesting. Maybe I need to epilate your armpits. Like maybe like someone else could do it better,
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to skin.
Anyways. My pro tip is my handy dandy switchblade. Yeah. It like, I love having it. I carry around like a tactical knife. But it, like it closes up, and 1, it's inconspicuous. 2, I just think it's great for the ladies.
That's inconspicuous. Hold on. I have to show the people. She said, open it up. She said, this is inconspicuous. This knife. She thinks this is inconspicuous. The people watching on YouTube. It's like literally a foot fucking long. Like it's not casual or small at all.
Okay. Well, it's more inconspicuous than a gun.
Yeah.
And like it's like, it's lightweight, it's easy. Like you can like put it in your sock. I can put it in my jeans. I put it in my pockets. Like I always have my knife on me. It's like kind of like a personality trait at this point. So yeah, just make it a part of your personality. One, I'm able to like cut things open anytime I need to. Like it's so convenient to have a knife, like a fucking big knife on you all the time. And two, I feel so much safer with it. Like I go out with it, like, because no one's fucking patting my baggy jeans down at the fucking bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, maybe I'm exposing myself with this. I really don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel so much safer because if anyone were to try to kidnap me, I mean, like, guns are just sketchy. And like, I would feel weird drinking. Obviously, you're not supposed to drink with a gun and you're not supposed to bring a fucking gun into a bar, but like, you know, a little switchblade action, you know, it's casual, it's safe, and I think it's good for the ladies. So that's my pro tip, honestly. And we bought a charger the other day and we like didn't have anything to break open the package with, and guess what? I had my handy dandy fucking knife. Yeah, so that's my pro tip.
Okay, before we get into our episode, we do have an announcement, brothers. And I'm going to make this disclaimer that I know change is scary, and it's okay. It's okay, because sometimes change needs to happen and it can be embraced. So there is a change coming to Whiskey and Water next season. And, you know, for you guys, might be good, might be bad. For us, it's going to work in our favor, because taking a look at, you know, we have to practice what we preach. We always tell you guys, set your boundaries, protect your space, protect your mental health. So we got to practice what we preach. We got to put it into action. So we have decided we are going to, I feel like I'm like letting someone down easy right now. We are going to be releasing an episode every other week starting next season. I hope that is not too disappointing for you guys. You know, we love doing the show. We love sitting down and talking to the brothers. You guys are everything to us. However, with this year coming up, we do just need to rethink about how we're spending our energy, our bandwidth, and, you know, I think it would just really, we would reap the benefits and come and show up better podcasters and, you know, better for you guys if we are able to do it every other week versus every week.
Yeah, and it was either this or take another season off. And I just didn't want to do that because I really do love showing up for you guys. And we missed it when we did take that season off. So honestly, I feel like this is a happy medium, and it's not a forever thing. You know, again, we just have a lot going on, especially in quarter one of, you know, 2023 with the podcast launching and with the course launching, and hopefully these new mood clients signing on, and, you know, we got some little cool projects up our sleeve. Don't know how much I want to tell yet, but really exciting stuff. So hopefully you guys aren't too disappointed, but we will be showing up every other week. So just re-listen to old episodes in the meantime.
With that being said, we are going to keep the episodes mostly just us, unless one of our friends inspires us or we come across a creator or an entrepreneur that really inspires us. But we won't be doing as much guest episodes because you guys really love the Just Us episodes. And we love them too, but they require more brain power. So we're figuring if we give ourselves the space to do it every other week, we can show up just us and really give you guys fantastic episodes with lots of takeaways and a whole lot of value.
Period, bestie. Also, our snippets look like shit. We know that. Like, I don't know if you guys follow our Instagram. The snippets, like our video snippets, don't do the podcast justice. So we're hoping that with this like extra time too, we can, like, you know, improve things, you know, stop being so fucking lazy. Cause I swear to God, we are, you know, we show up and we're proud of every podcast we put out. Like, we literally would not put out an episode if we weren't proud of it. We've done that in the past, which is such a bummer. But yeah, we're just hoping that we can kind of show up stronger for you guys and ourselves. So I'm excited to see what change that this, you know, new season brings, and it's going to be interesting.
Also, while you guys are here, we need to get better about asking you guys to leave reviews on Apple Podcasts because it really does help the show and it really means a lot to us. I've said it a million times, I'll say it till I die. This is such a, like, podcasting is such a, and influencing in general, is such a one way relationship. Like, we divulge so much about our lives, about our mental health, about our relationships, about our work and business, and it just feels like sometimes it feels like we're talking to nobody, but it's crazy that hundreds of people actually listen to us talk for an hour straight every week. So with that being said, if you guys could take a moment, if you love our show, please take a moment, write a review on Apple Podcast. It would mean the world to us. We actually love hearing what you guys have to say about the shit that we're talking every week.
If we get 100 new reviews, we won't do every other week.
Yeah.
No, kidding. Wait, kind of.
No.
If you guys actually gave us 100 reviews, I would show up every week for the next season. Even if it would just be like you and I every other week, and then it would just be me. Like the other episodes are just you. Solo. When we say solo episodes, we really mean like just us. We are one. Olivia had a dream that we broke up yesterday. Disgusting. I can't even think that she would have those types of thoughts. We actually just made well, I know we haven't just made, but we're about to film that TikTok that's the icks of each other, and
maybe my dream was foreshadowing.
Right.
That's gonna be a breaking point.
Oh no, maybe we shouldn't do it. But stay tuned on our TikToks because that's gonna be funny as fuck. All right, without further ado, let's kick off our season finale.
All right, so I feel like it would be helpful for us to just kind of like say what stood out about this past year before we get into next year. For me, I'll kick it off. For me personally, I started the year in a very hard way, early January. Like, honestly, a horrible way to start the year. And I was like, damn, that is such a bummer. Because I had high hopes for this year, and this is just like not ideally how one would start a year that you think is going to be great. And it was great, like now that we're at the end of the year, it's like I can see things with more clarity and perspective. But anyways, I did experience a lot of loss in the beginning of this year, and that kind of like, that TikTok trend that's like things that altered my brain chemistry. Yeah, I feel like early January was like one of those things that altered my brain chemistry. Like just understanding what it means to like lose people close to you, and like just what grief looks like. Like it was like my first time experiencing like real grief, and that kind of just, that changes you as a person. It changes your outlook on life. It changes personally, I'm sure everyone has their different experience with grief and their own way of processing things and dealing with things. For me, it did change the way I see every single day and the way I operate every single day. It made me live way more in the moment and be more present, because and I've shared this before, in the past year about like what I learned like going through that grief. And just that, like, it sounds morbid, but it's like any day can truly be your last. And it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to understand that to your core and to live your everyday like that. So that was very significant for me. So yeah, that it is what it is. I hate that it's coming up on the anniversary of that. I know that's going to be like really hard. I'm not looking forward to that week, but thankfully I have a really amazing support system. That was also the first time I've taken like significant amount of time off work and like really didn't like, I like kind of checked out. Yeah. And I'm so thankful that I have, Jess as a best friend and a business partner who picked up my slack. But it was just my first time experiencing anything like that. And, I understand death and grief in a different way now. And like, now when I see others going through it, I just understand it more, which I don't know. There's levels to this shit, but yeah, it's significant enough, and it definitely made an impact on my past year for sure.
I also started this year on not nearly as much of a traumatic note.
I meant dramatic, but yeah,
traumatic and dramatic. But it was weird for me. Yeah, I started off the year. I was casually dating someone, and this person, although we're cool now, we've gotten through some shit, started off my year just so fucking bad. Like, I was like, oh, this is not the right foot forward. And yeah, it was just fucking horrible. Like, the guy, like, got a lot of love for the guy, but total fucking narcissist, emotionally fucking traumatized me at the beginning of the year. So I was like, God, if this is like any kind of insight into like how the rest of my year is going to look, we're not looking great. But looking back on the year, never give up. Because now here I am, wifed up, super, super healthy situation that's happening right now. And I'll tell you guys more about that when the time is ready, but whatever. Dreams do come true. And never settle. And if he fucking breaks my heart, I don't want to hear it, because I'm an optimist. And if I am getting love bombed right now, I will burn my house to the ground, because I can't do this again. Anyways, so beginning of the year, pretty tumultuous. There's nothing in there. I have ice cream in the bed, guys. Liv just reached for it and I killed that shit. If I wasn't like dating someone now, I would most likely do like that 2022 dating Wrapped, because my fucking dating life up until the last like month or two has been an absolute fucking joke. And it honestly like not ruined like the first half of my, if not like the first like 8 months of the year. Yeah, fuck that shit. But yeah, I just had some like pretty bad experiences, like low-key fucked up experiences. But you know what I think that I was able to take away from those experiences was that I am not in the business of settling anymore. And I like used to be like, I mean, I was a settling ass bitch. I'm definitely a certified lover girl. And you guys, I mean, I've said it before, but in past relationships, not in past relationships, in a really bad past relationship, I let that person break up with me like literally 10 times. And I just let them walk all over me. And my self-worth was like reduced to absolutely bar none. So honestly, I think it was really cool that I was able to like communicate pretty effectively with each of these, failed, situationships that happened. And, if we were to, like level out this pie chart, it would be like 80% I, canceled, I cut off, and then 20% they cut off. And, yeah, again, I think, my main takeaway was just that, like, I think my communication has gotten really, really good, over the past few years. And it was kind of like put to the test this year. And like to the point where like, I was just so straight up with these people on like, the minute I realized it wasn't going to work, I didn't continue. And, yeah, and I was just able to communicate super effectively on like why I thought it wasn't gonna work. And now I like have okay relationships with those people. Like there's no fucking bad blood. Like some of these people like have asked me about like girlfriends, like, oh, are they single, blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen, I don't want you, so it doesn't fucking matter to me. But yeah, that was kind of like what the first part of my year looked like. And then we went to it was really just that and work. Like my year has just been like tumultuous dating and work. And in the beginning of the year, we went to, we took a work trip to California, which was really just like a really cool moment. Yeah, like it's really fucking sick to be able to take a work trip that like, your company like actually pays for, and go and like pitch your company to hundreds of fucking brands. Like that was such a surreal trip and such a surreal moment. And we didn't get a single client from it. No, literally, guys, like not a single fucking client. But that's okay, because like everything happens for a reason. And like we weren't like relying on those leads, so it didn't really matter, and everything panned out the way it should. But it's just hilarious because we were like, Liv was literally like, guys, I don't like, we're gonna get too much business, like I'm scared, like I don't know if we're ready to handle it. And I was like, dude, I don't know, like I'm a little bit more hesitant. Not a single fucking client.
And it's so funny, like go back to, for the brothers who like have listened and remember like that time period where we went on that trip. Like we're on the podcast being like, you guys, we're gonna get so much business. Expo West, we're pitching to all these brands. Didn't get one client from that, but it's totally cool. Like it was such a good experience. Our first, like she said, our first time doing anything like that. Like it was legitimate a work trip, and we've taken work trips before, but like it will be like an influencer trip, or like when we were modeling it was like we were booked for a photo shoot and they were flying us out. But to take a work trip for your own business is like so cool. Yeah, it's just really cool, and it was a really really cool moment and a cool experience for us. We're definitely gonna like go back this year just because we had so much fun and we enjoyed it. We enjoyed pitching Mood and our services and networking and meeting people and like just being on the pulse and seeing what brands are doing. So that was super cool, a very awesome moment for our agency. And I think in general, this past year with Mood, like we have, it's so interesting to look back now because this past year was our second year in business really, and it's so interesting to see how our workflow has improved. And what I'm really proud of with Mood this year is the team that we've established, and we really expanded our team, and we just have these really solid team members who I don't know, we're so confident in, and we have so much confidence in our workflow right now. Like Jess and I are pretty much just like overseeing things, making decisions, doing a lot of art direction, and then a lot of the heavy lifting is our team. And we're still the main content creators of our campaigns, but we've just gotten such a good workflow down, and it feels so good because I think in the first year of the agency, you're just figuring something out when you start a new business. And like we've told you guys multiple times before, we did not go to business school. So like, no, we didn't take a course on how to run an agency or how to make a content creation agency. Like it was all so new to us. So to look back on our second year of the agency versus our first year, like, and see how far it's come and how confident we are now in our services that we provide and getting on the phone with clients and like, not even being nervous and knowing our shit and getting a better sales strategy down. It's just super, super cool to look back and see the evolution of the agency. And I'm like so proud of us for that. We also got an employee to full time. Like we scaled our first full time employee to that position. And that's something I'm really proud of. Also, I don't know if we updated you guys, but I think we did, possibly, maybe. So our previous project manager, Taylor, she was with us for about a year. That is who we had move into the full-time position. She recently left Mood and took a better position, which we're so, so happy. A better opportunity, a higher paying opportunity with benefits, which, as a startup, we just aren't there yet. But the fact that we were able to get her to full-time is something I'm so proud of. Like, and I don't know, I'm just so fucking proud of that. I mean, we still aren't paying ourselves, but we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, and I just remember being at Expo West, and we were, trying to pitch all these different services. Like we were offering all these like, all these different services, and like we just weren't so confident in exactly what we were doing. And like we were kind of like, oh well, we'll do this if someone has a budget, or like, why wouldn't we just offer this because we can do it. But it's like, being like 100% foolproof confidence and exactly what you're offering, it's such a good fucking feeling because it's like it's unwavering, right? Like no one can poke a hole in that confidence. And it really is so crazy just seeing like how stable Mood is. It's like self-sufficient. Like our team they're fucking rock stars. Like they get shit done, and we don't have to fucking micromanage them. Like they know exactly what they're doing. We never have to get on their ass, which is like so like important to us, like to be able to like trust them, because we are so fucking laid back and like so chill that like we could get taken advantage of, you know what I mean? So I think we're so lucky to just have employees that we trust wholeheartedly. And again, services that we're so confident in, and like we can hop on any call, and like explain in detail what we're offering, how we can get them there, and just really proud of like the work that we're doing. And like that's you like, you know, you just can't pay for that feeling.
With that being said, though, that wasn't always the case. You know, like our first year, there was so many pain points, and even this year, there was a lot of challenges. Even with scaling an employee from part-time to full-time, there was so many challenges that even came along with that. And we definitely had hardships and really honestly like hard conversations. We started working with a business consultant, and that was really hard because he was kind of like, you know, like we think things are going a certain way, and then when you have someone sit you down and do your numbers and like it's just a little bit of a reality check. So there were
in over our heads.
yeah, there was a point where we were in over our heads. We bit off a little bit more than we could chew financially. And that was, you know, like a really hard pill to swallow and place to be in. So, like, we are at this such a good point now, but it's not like it started there. You know, like we've gone through hell and back to get to this point. And granted, like it won't always be like this. We do love to soak it up and enjoy like when things are easy and there's a good flow. But you know, as you scale and as you grow, the challenges are going to be there. Like it's just a part of what we're doing here. So, but I have confidence, you know, every time we get past a challenge and, you know, we say to each other constantly, like all we've said during these challenges is like, listen, everything is figure outable. We're going to figure this out. And like, it's been really scary. And knowing that you are people's livelihoods, like that is so much responsibility. And we would never take that lightly at all. So honestly, that was a lot of pressure too. But like I said, everything's figure outable. And we're so lucky to have each other to remind ourselves of that. Like when one of us is feeling scared, insecure, like unsure of what the future holds, we have the other one to be like, we will figure this out. We always have, we always will. And like, we just need to put one foot in front of the other. So I think that was super valuable. We definitely practiced over like being solution oriented this year, having hard conversations, trying to communicate our intentions effectively. We made some financial mistakes and learned a lot of lessons from that. Like, even with our consultant, we were like, okay, not gonna make that mistake again. So it's been really good. So yeah, that's where we're at with mood. Other than that, I got a new house this year. That's super great, super fun because I was living in not such a great neighborhood. So I'm really proud of the house, and it just feels good to be in a space that you love. Of course, I do wish it was a little bigger, and there's features that I do wish it had, but you know, like one step at a time. It's all me and Tyler need right now, but it is something that was significant about the past year is that like I wanted a house so bad for a long time and finally got a house.
And we all know I got my little LA loft. We love her. We love my little pocket drainer. Yeah, and you guys know, if you guys have been, you know, listening for a while, you guys know like what that fucking process was like and how it didn't pan out for me. And honestly, like this year, although it was like probably one of my more difficult years, you know, things were hard this year. I will say that like my like sort of like baseline, like my inner peace wasn't really shaken up too much. Shooken up too much? Whatever the fuck. You guys know what I'm saying. Like I felt like I don't know. I don't know if I've just reached a point in my life where I'm like literally everything is figure outable. Like, oh, what's the worst case fucking scenario? Yeah. I default on this, or like, I mean, you know, there's so many solutions. And yeah, so that was kind of like really interesting to kind of, you know, observe in myself. And I feel like that's where a lot of like the growth came in. Like it feels like it feels like the past few years I've like done the fucking work, put in the fucking work, like literally like I'm tired of the work and don't want to work anymore. Yeah, I don't want to work anymore. It seems like no one wants to get up and work. And it feels like this year is when I really reaped the benefits of the work that I've done, which is such a cool fucking feeling. Like it genuinely feels like I'm growing up, like finally, and kind of like finding, my inner peace and not allowing things outside of my control to affect that, which is such a good feeling. But even just like the whole project in and of itself, and like getting the LA apartment was such a like pivotal moment for me, because it's something that I wanted for so long, and kind of just creating that space from the ground up was such a rewarding and fun process. Like, Liv going out there with me, her and Truman and even Nugget, like going from Facebook Marketplace to like pick up all these fucking pieces, like just such a fun experience to do, and like so fulfilling. And like I love the LA apartment so much, and like it brings me so much joy. And like even if it did bring some additional financial stress, because it didn't pan out the way that I had expected it to, it did bring me so much joy, and for that I'm forever thankful. And it allowed me to express myself and in a creative way that like I wouldn't have ever really been able to do before. And again, I love the space so much, and it really is just like the physical manifestation of me and my love and my brain.
Love that. Love that. Lots of growth happening. I love that you said like nothing, just at this place in your life where like not shit's disrupting your inner peace. Like I think we just really understand what's important and what's not.
Yeah.
Like health, family, friends. That's important.
Everything else is just background noise.
Everything else is background noise. Like and I think even like with experiencing like the loss that I had, I understand that more too. It's like what makes life living are these moments of joy. Oh, and another thing was the solo trip that I went on this past year. That was a huge thing for me too. Although it was 3 days, I feel like I know. I feel like I experienced a lot of growth during that period, because one, I challenged myself, and two, had these little pockets of just bliss, and I'm like, this is it. This is it. It's these moments. That's all anyone is ever searching for, is these moments of bliss and true joy, and that's all you can ask for out of life, because like we think that happiness and success is this like far-fetched life that's ahead of us, and it's not ahead of us. It's happening now, in these moments, in these precious moments, in waking up and watching the sunrise, or listening to music and dancing with a stranger, or you know what I mean, like it's happening right now. And I think I truly like, I don't know if I learned it this year. I think I've been learning it for years, but if anything, it strengthened this year, to just understand that these moments of bliss and joy is what makes life worth living, and to not miss them, not be distracted by them, not be on my phone. Don't lose this moment searching for another, a wise woman once said. But yeah, just totally soaking it up, being present, not being distracted by people or my phone or like anyone else's energy, like really just honing in on my own. Okay, so yeah, that solo trip was very significant. I'm so happy I did it. I want to do one once a year, honestly. And it was one of those things that was a whisper, and I followed the whisper and I did it. I'm so happy I did, because it was so worth it, and I just really learned to enjoy my solitude. Another thing I'm really proud of this past year is that I feel like I honed in on my content. Like I feel like I got to a really good point of knowing the type of content I enjoy creating, and the happy balance between what does well on the platform. I realized, like, I even just the other night I was like lurking my own profile, and I watched every single reel that I made this past year, and I was so proud of each reel. I loved how every reel came out. I loved the vision I had for it, how I matched the music to the clips, like the overall vibes. I was just like, damn, I'm proud of this content that I'm putting out there. So that felt really good, because I think in the years prior I haven't felt that way. I also did start to prioritize like my feed aesthetic this year, which was something I really resented and resisted. Not resented, I resisted it for years, and I didn't want to convert to someone who cared about how their feed aesthetic looked. And I did this year, and it's brought me a lot of joy. Yes, it's a little more work on my end to think about like cover photos and to make a, you know, to make it all cohesive and like put it into a pattern that I like. But I feel like it's been really rewarding for me, and when I look at my profile, it sparks joy, and I'm like, I curated this. Like I did this. I created this mood for my page, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm happy that I'm happy with my content. I want to continue to be happy with my content. I do want to sit down and do the audit again this year. I don't know what I would learn, honestly. I don't know how much. I mean, it's changing like every fucking month, the platforms, but I do want to sit down and do another audit of my social media channels. I know for sure this upcoming year, I want to prioritize YouTube Shorts and Amazon content. So those are two things that are on my radar. If they're not on your radar and you're a content creator or an influencer, they should be. So look into both. YouTube is gonna start offering creators, you know, a lot more incentives for monetization, and then Amazon too is just like fucking killing the game, and I just want to get in with their influencer trips and their programs. So I'm manifesting that.
I'm manifesting both of us going on those lit ass Amazon trips. We're manifesting for 2023 brand trips. Like Miss Alex Earl is living her goddamn best life on these trips to Key West or with the fucking Tarte. She's in New York City with Rare Beauty with fucking Selena Gomez, like a queen. We stan, and I'm trying to get on that. So yeah, definitely, you know, honing in on the content that we want to start putting out in the new year. I will say that in 2022, something that I'm really proud of is pushing my physical limits. Like, you know, doing 75 hard was such a fucking commitment, and it was it was honestly so taxing. Like, it was such a fucking challenge, and like I saw the most growth like in my body that I've been like yearning to see over the past few years, because I've always been active, I've always lifted, but I've never been like as serious about it as I was during 75 hard. And it was honestly just so cool to like actually see growth, because like I mean, it's just something that like, it's one of those things where it's like you're like, this is the year I get a dump truck, this is the year I get fit, this is the year, etc., etc. And like actually like getting like fed up with yourself and being like, why am I in my own fucking way? Like, why am I simply holding myself back? Like, and I think that this year I really like did the shit that I said I was gonna do. And like, you know, being a woman and a person of your word is such a good feeling. Like you're just like so unwavering in your own confidence. Like you're like, yeah, I say exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm about that fucking action. Like, I don't say things that I'm not going to do. And it's like, it's these promises that you're making to yourself, right? Because like the only person that you're truly disappointing at the end of the day is yourself. And all you have at the end of the day is yourself. And it's really like all about fucking discipline. Like it's about making these promises to yourself and keeping them. Because it's like, if not, like, what are we fucking doing? Like, and how you do one thing is truly how you do everything. And it's hard, and it's hard to compare yourself, because I don't know, you know, like sometimes you're like, damn, you know, I don't want to clean up my house right now. And that's something, you know, I struggle in certain areas, but it's like the one thing that like does motivate me to, you know, get my shit together. It's like, how I do this right now is how I do everything. And it's like, especially in the gym, if I'm like, damn, like I don't want to do I don't want to do another set of this. I'm like, well, if I push myself right now, I'll be able to push myself in other areas of my life. Like how I do this one thing is how I will do everything. So that's been really cool to see, like just the growth in the gym and the growth in like my physical body, and obviously my mental as well. Has just been really cool to see, and I'm just so like proud and happy that like I've gotten to a place where I feel so comfortable. And obviously it was such a bummer that like I had to take time off because of this most recent egg retrieval, but really excited to get back into it. And I feel like I've just found such a good rhythm with the gym, and like 75 hard is what really implemented that, like having to work out twice a fucking day. You get very comfortable with your body, and you get very comfortable, with the movements, and just making that a habit. And the endorphins that you get from it, guys, is like, if you're not going to work out for any other fucking reason, goddamn, do it for the endorphins, because it just really makes you feel like you're on top of the world. It makes you feel like that's why I like to do it like first thing in the day, because it's like, all right, like I have these endorphins, and I can, now that I can do that, I can knock out fucking anything that I want. You know what I mean? So 10/10 recommend working out.
Love that. Snap. I was snapping the whole time. Snap, snaps. Another thing about this year that I feel like I said I was gonna do. Oh, one thing about us is we're gonna do what we say we're gonna fucking do. Like, that is something I think we're really good about. And obviously it's so much easier when you have an accountability partner as strong as we do. But we're good about saying, like, that's why I'm like, if we don't know we're gonna do something, like, let's not even say it. Like, I don't want to even put it out there until I know for sure where it's gonna get done, and we have a plan of action on how it's gonna get done and when it's gonna get done. Anyways, one thing about me is I said I was gonna travel in 2022, and travel I did. I went somewhere, I think, every month except for the month of November. There might have been like 2 months that I didn't take a trip, but that was intentional. I, after 2021 and, the year before that, obviously being home and not being able to travel, I saw the next year, and I was like, I am gonna say yes to every travel opportunity that comes my way this year. And like, I'm gonna spend my money on travel. And maybe that means less money in my savings account, but I'm okay with that, because again, it went back to my thing of like, we all can, it can be our last day today, and like, life's meant to be lived. So when I thought about like, oh, I could put that money in my savings, or I can say fuck it and buy that plane ticket and spend money on a trip where I'm going to create memories and have moments of joy, I did that. And I'm so happy I did, because I look back on this past year and I traveled my ass off, and I have so many memories with Tyler, with my girlfriends, with different groups of girlfriends, with myself. And I'm so happy. Like, that's priceless, So, and of course, we are so lucky, and we have the privilege to travel as much as we do and be able to work from anywhere. And I'm so thankful for that. I never take that for granted. You guys, I'm sorry. It's 9:30 at night. Oh, okay. So I'll never take that for granted. And honestly, I like just had this thought. I'm so excited to teach people how to be influencer assistants so that they can make money from anywhere and they can travel and work remotely, because it is the shit. Also, something I really implemented this year is journaling. I really feel like I got into journaling. I don't think I miss a month of setting new month intentions and goals. I do want to like make sure that's true, and like collect the papers from my notebooks and see like every month from this past year. But I found that so helpful. When I see the new month is coming, I would always make sure to sit down, write my intentions for different areas of my life. And I love that, because I can look back and see, like when I would sit down to do the next month, I would look back on the previous month and see like, okay, what did I accomplish? What could I have done better on? And usually it's like honestly half and half, and I feel great about that. Like, if I'm getting some stuff off that list, I feel good. And I also started the journal club this year, which has been great. And also that holds me accountable for, thinking about the upcoming months and sitting down and trying to journal every day. And anytime I've like had, I don't know, I just feel like I got into a really good practice with journaling, and I see the growth coming from that. And like, going back to our episode from last week about taking inventory of things, I feel like I was really good about that this year, and I do want to continue that into the new year.
I love that. And your journal club is like so helpful. So, guys, if you have any interest in joining her journal club, always check her stories because she links it. And it's so nice because it's like such a great accountability thing. And like journaling really only takes like 10 minutes. And like seeing everyone post like theirs, it's like pretty inspirational. And I've loved like this past week, we've been in Hawaii, I've journaled every single day, and it's been such a good feeling. And honestly, just like brain dumping, like whenever I fucking can. Like it's just so nice to like get things out of your fucking head and onto paper. Like it's just so nice because sometimes you just like have these like streams of consciousness in your head and things feel tangled and they feel like jumbled, and putting them onto paper makes them make sense. So that's what I really love about journaling. Following on the trend of we're going to do exactly what we say we're going to do. Earlier this year when Liv was helping me, put together the LA apartment, we finally like set our sights on creating the influencer assistant course. And that's like where that entire idea really came to fruition, and we were like, holy shit, like we were so excited. Like I'll never forget the feeling of us being in the car ride with the Starbucks. Y'all, we were fucking on one. Like it, like vibes just on 100, like just so fucking good. And like we knew based on that feeling that we like had to do it, like no matter what. Like if anything is going to inspire us this much, it deserves to be given like attention and love and care and blood, sweat, and tears. And that's exactly what we fucking did. And like seeing it really like just come to light and come together the way it has been just so fucking surreal. Like literally just an unreal feeling. And it, again, like everything that we've ever done has been like new territory for us, right? Like creating the podcast, like we had no fucking idea what we were doing, but we figured that shit the fuck out. And here we are 3 years deep. We had never started a fucking agency before, and we had never owned a real business before. And now we have a team of like 6, and we're 2 years balls deep in the agency. And we hit 6 figures on our fucking agency in its 2nd year. Still not paying ourselves, but that's not the point. But yeah, like it's just, it's such a beautiful like progression of like, seeing like from conception to, like the development to like seeing, the fruits of our labor. It's, we're still, very much in the development, but we're, we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just such a good fucking feeling. And, we have people sign up every single day for our mailing for, that they're interested in the course. And even that is such a crazy feeling because it's like people are like really fucking interested in the course. And like we obviously we know it's natural as the creators to hope it does really well, but like seeing that people are genuinely interested in like what we're doing, and anytime we tell someone about it, they're like, holy shit, like this is going to be so big. And we really do hope that like it's going to be as big as we feel like it should be and can be. And like we do hope that it'll kind of like put a ripple in the creator economy and disrupt things in a positive way. And it's just again, blood, sweat, and tears are being poured into this, and I'm just so excited to finally see it come full circle.
Yeah, and I think it's significant for us for this year because it is something completely out of our territory. Like we had 2 guests on the show who have courses and who talked about courses, but it was a whole new set of challenges for us to create a course from scratch, and Anna, our current assistant, has helped us so much. Like she has been such an incredible third partner in the course in Socially Ambitious with us. So it's just a whole new set of challenges and a whole new learning curve, but we are getting so good because of the practice in the past few years. We're getting so good at kind of like making learning curves smoother. I'm like, what else should we do? Should we start an energy company? Like what the fuck else? I'm ready because I feel we have a system down, and of course there's challenges and things that come up that we're not expecting, but the course is such an exciting thing, and we are at the finish line. But looking into, the end of this year and going into next year, the course is so significant for us and something we're so excited about.
And another just really fucking cool thing about it that I do want to touch on is like owning an agency that's supporting our new endeavor, right? Like Mood is running all of the social media for the Socially Ambitious, and creating all the graphics, creating the stories, creating the posts, creating the reels, doing the TikToks. And like that's just so fucking cool to me. Like that we're able to like launch anything and have our company like support it. Like we're just fucking for not to be fucking chuggy, but we're creating an empire, and that is so fucking sick.
Yeah, and I hope you guys know that we hope this doesn't come off as like, we're so cool, we're the best, but we're really we are cool, we are the best. No, we're taking a moment and just patting ourselves on the back and just being proud of ourselves, honestly, because I do think we're so in the thick of it a lot with our work, whether it's the agency or the podcast or the course or our own personal content. Like we have our heads down and we're grinding, so we like don't really often get a chance to look up and like give ourselves that pat on the back. Yeah, and even like one of our interns, Amelia, made a really cute like reel trend on Instagram about, well, folks, that's for the 2022 season, like that wraps it up, and did like a little collage of videos of like behind the scenes of Mood stuff the past year, and like it made both of us so teary-eyed. And it's just hard when you're in it to be able to see it from a bigger perspective and see what we're doing. But we saw that video and we both were like literally crying in the car, and we're like, this is so cool, and I'm so proud of us, especially knowing all of the challenges that we've faced with, starting the agency and starting these new ventures. It just feels really good to be able to like sit here and look back and see how far we've come.
Yeah, because like when you're in the thick of it, you don't really know or necessarily see that light at the end of the tunnel. Like it's very much like, fuck, is this ever gonna fucking get easier? And like being able to look back and seeing how much easier it has gotten, and like how much more efficient we are, and like how much more self-sufficient our employees are, and like how just things are like a well-oiled machine, is honestly just like the best fucking feeling.
Yeah, and ideally this would be like, inspiring you guys. Like just said, we like when we started the podcast, we had never started a podcast before. When we started the agency, we had never started an agency before. We're starting this course, we never started a course before. So like we also have no business degrees. So I hope you guys hear this and know that like, listen, if we can do it, so can you. And if there's any doubt in your mind about if you can do something or if you can't, especially looking at your 2023 goals and any business ideas you might have, or even if it's starting a YouTube channel, it can be something even smaller than a whole ass business. It can be smaller than a YouTube channel, like whatever it is. I hope you guys hear this and know that like if it's attainable for us, it's attainable for you too. And you don't have to have it all figured out to like go for it. You can go for it and just figure it out as you go. No one's going to expect you to know everything. Like, there's a lot of times that we're transparently like, oh yeah, like that's actually something that we don't know a lot about. For example, like studio shoot with, studio lighting, like that we aren't super confident in shooting, and we're transparent about it because we're like, that's not our specialty. Could we figure it out? Yes. But like, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know everything. So, I hope you guys hear this, and I hope it pushes you to go for it and to not wait until you feel like you're at a point where you know more, or you've done more research, or you feel more ready, or like you won't have imposter syndrome. You just got to go for it, and you will figure it out. Like a challenge will come, you will figure it out, you will get through it. Google is an amazing thing that exists these days. TikTok is an amazing search engine as well to figure out how to do things. There's resources in your life. If you are resourceful, there's people in your life who want to see you succeed. There's people you can reach out to and ask them for advice. Like it is possible, it is achievable, and you can do it. And we believe in you, brothers.
So before we wrap this up, we are going to leave you guys with a few tips and tricks on how to kind of like make everything a little bit more digestible, you know, like from setting goals, right? Because it's like so broad and so vast. It's kind of like fucking hard to like know where to even start. So our first tip, something that we always do and always recommend to you guys, is breaking things up into like the different pillars of your life, right? So whether that's, you know, career and then relationships, friendships, like it can be a specific relationship. Like this is, you know, this is a goal that I have for, you know, my relationship with my parents. You know, this is how I want to be intentional with them. Or maybe it's like, you know, wellness and like health. Like you know, how do I want to feel in the new year? And kind of breaking it up into just all these different like pillars of your life, and then kind of going from there. And, you know, like write out, maybe even start with writing like how you want to feel about each thing, and then kind of work backwards from there. Like, okay, how do I get there? Like, okay, does that look like calling my parents once a week? Does that look like scheduling, you know, a mom and daughter date once a month? Like, what does that look like to you? And kind of just like, you know, work backwards from your goals, because it's so much harder to like be like, to have zero direction and expect results from things when you don't have clarity on what exactly it is that you want to accomplish.
Yes, and to piggyback off of that, something that I actually used to say a lot on the podcast, and I haven't in a while, is it's like a GPS. Like setting goals and being intentional about your goals and writing it down on paper is like putting a destination into a GPS. If you don't put in a destination, like you're not going to get the directions to get there, and you're going to get lost. You might get lost on the way. You might get there, but you might have taken the longer route. So, you know, being so clear about what it is you want to manifest, what it is you want to work towards, and putting it on paper is so important, because then it's like so clear in your mind and you can break down exactly what it's going to take to get you there. Another tip I have for you guys is honestly just like manifesting in general. I'm reading a book called Becoming Supernatural right now, and a really interesting meditation that he encourages people to do is to think about a specific goal and then imagine you've already hit that goal and experience the emotions that would be associated if you hit that. So say it would be to hit 100,000 followers on Instagram, right? I would do my meditation, I'd close my eyes, I would think about that's the goal, that's the intention, and then I would pretend that it literally just happened to me, and I would let all of the emotions flow in that I would feel if I hit that goal, and to like just stay in that space for a while, because basically he says that every version of every reality already exists in the universe, and when you put it out there specifically and then feel the emotions attached to that reality, you're like drawing it in to become your truth. So it's a little, I hope it's not too woo-woo for you guys, but I honestly feel like it's such a good tool for me. I'm a very visual person, so for me it helps to have this like visual slash visceral experience where it's like your body is feeling like it already happened. So that's a pro tip. That's what I've been doing lately in my meditations that I feel like is really helpful. Visualization in general, like imagining yourself hitting these goals, doing these things before you've actually done it, is super helpful. And also I've been getting more into like tools. So like I'll burn incense, or like I've invested in some crystals. I'll make sure I always set music. Yeah, like you know, I think a part of me is like, it doesn't work. But then a part of me is like, why would I not set myself up for success and give myself every advantage I could to manifest like my dreams into reality? So I'm like, I don't know the science behind crystals and stuff, but I do feel like I just love having them as a part of my little practice and my routine. And I love burning some Palo Santo and some sage, and, you know, just like getting yourself in that high vibration, that high frequency, and like able to manifest these things into reality. For me, that's been super helpful, is giving myself that like safe space and creating a space where I feel like I can connect to the higher frequency slash power.
Also, I feel like a really good starting point for all of this is like something I did the other day, which is just doing a general word dump. for everything that I do want to attract and manifest in 2023. Like I just wrote down like abundance, joy, laughter, like health, wealth. Yeah, sometimes sentences are like too much, and just starting off with like words that you want to attract, and again like working from there. And I feel like even just that like kind of gave me so much clarity, because I was like, if anything doesn't align with these, then I don't want to do it. You know, if it's not comfort, if it's not ease, if it's not light, if it's not love, I'm not really interested. You know what I mean? Like, no thanks. So that was also just a little pro tip for me that kind of, and even you can like, you know, that's something easier that you can like kind of start off with and then go back to, you know, get more clarity and get a little bit more detailed on your goals. But, writing them out, guys, is so important. You know, it's called scripting in like the spiritual space. And that's because you're writing these things out to be your reality. So just make sure that you're taking the time, because if not, like these things simply won't happen. You will be attracting your like these goals and these dreams to you so much quicker if you are completely clear on exactly what it is that you want and how you're going to get there. You know, that intention plus action is simply will create your dreams.
Okay, you guys, I think that is a wrap on this 2022 season. Not season of the show, but like season in general. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys found so much value in this. I hope it is setting you guys up to have the right mindset going into the new year and setting you up for success and for love and abundance. I want you to know that you are so capable of whatever you set your mind to. You're capable of living your dream life. And, you know, we can only hope that you are that bitch. You are simply put, you are that bitch. We can only hope that, you know, this pushes you guys to know that you are capable of anything. And we love you guys. We will see you next year in the new year. I hope you guys have a happy, safe New Year's Eve and go manifest your life, babes.
Woo woo. Woo woo. Go manifest. We are simply this, new year. It's going to be a new theme of the podcast. It's going to be like spirituality and manifestation. But guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please either leave a review or take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram story. Both are always so incredibly appreciated. And yeah, we love you guys, and we'll see you in 2023. Yay! Bye, brothers.